All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Dragonflight video. My name is Barokoshama. Today, we're going to be talking about the new tier sets that have been released for patch 10.2, the Guardians of the Dream. So, on the PTR right now, Blizzard developers just released a lot of the testable tier sets, and I wanted to talk about the one specifically for Elemental and Enhancement Shamans. So we're going to quickly read through these, what my thoughts are on them as well, and kind of like initial gameplay. Unfortunately, both of the tier sets and specs are experiencing some bugs on the PTR, which is to be expected with the first iteration of the release content for the PTR. So they're not fully testable, but the idea of the tier sets are still really good, and we can do some theory crafty stuff. And just talk about them. So starting off with Elemental Shaman, the 2-set bonus. Primordial Wave also casts an Elemental Blast at the target at 100% effectiveness and grants you all 3 Elemental Blast bonus effects for 15 seconds, being Haste, Critical Strike, and Mastery. This is already off to a really good start. You don't even have to spec in Elemental Blast to get this benefit. And with the Primordial Wave cooldown reduction that we get from the talent, let me just pull it up really quick. It's called Primordial Surge, but I'm just going to double check. No, Rolling Magma. So the Rolling Magma CDR on Primordial Wave, especially in an AoE situation where you have a lot of flame shocks out, you're getting a lot of lava surge procs, right? You're using a lot of lava bursts, you're going to get Primordial Wave up very, very quickly. So this, in conjunction with the Elemental Blast into a priority target, it's going to be really good. You're going to get all 3 of those buffs for 15 seconds. And the Wildfire build is just kind of back with this tier set here. So 4-set bonus. For 10 seconds after using Primordial Wave, whenever you consume Lava Surge, your next Chain Lightning, or Lightning Bolt is instant cast and deals 25% increased damage. This is going to be interesting because if you also go with Primordial Surge, casting Primordial Wave triggers Lava Surge immediately and every 3 seconds for 12 seconds. So you're guaranteed a Lava Surge proc. And then if this is on single target, honestly, your Primordial Wave windows are going to be pretty good with single target with your weaving in those lightning bolts after those Lava Surges. Those lightning bolts are obviously going to be empowered by Echo or Master of the Elements. So you cast a Lava Surge or a Lava Burst. You increase the damage of your next Nature, Physical, or Frost spell by 20%, plus the additional 25% just from the tier set. Your lightning bolts are going to be hitting pretty hard. This also translates very well to PvP. I think like your focus target is going to be in PvP during a Primordial Wave window is going to be hurting quite a lot. Another thing with the Wildfire build, obviously we're going to be playing Deeply Rooted Elements. If you do play this Wildfire build, you can also look at speccing into Flash of Lightning, but I digress. This is going to be more of a different video of talking about the builds, but the primary Wildfire build is definitely coming back, whether you're going to be playing with Splintered Elements, most likely in Mythic Plus, and probably Primordial Surge in single target raid encounters. So this whole tier set right now, it's a little bugged. It's a little bugged. And by a little, I mean a lot. So currently the problem with this tier set is the Molten Charge buff that you get after you use a Lava Surge when you've casted Primordial Wave. It actually allows you to spam cast Lightning Bolt instant cast and Chain Lightning instant cast. However, Chain Lightning is not generating Maelstrom for the duration of the Molten Charge buff. Excuse me. But Lightning Bolt is. And also the Elemental Blast that you're casting from Primordial Wave, it does not overload. And I've also found that Elemental Blast itself does not overload. I test it with like 90% mastery when I switch around some gear, and I cannot get Elemental Blast to overload. I've looked at the combat logs, I looked at every other spell that interacts with our mastery, and they all will overload, but Elemental Blast does not overload, so it's currently bugged on the PTR, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to test out this whole situation with a high mastery build, because I think it would be really good with Mountains Will Fall in a single target raid encounter or a single target fight, right? You go Primordial Surge, Mountains Will Fall, Elemental Blast, and I feel like it would be really strong. But I can't fully test out the elemental tier, and that leads me into the enhancement. So let's talk about that. Primordial Wave summons a lightning feral spirit that increases your nature damage dealt by 20% for 15 seconds. This is the same spirit that is activated from your elemental wolves. So it's the same exact one that you get from elemental spirits. It just summons a lightning one, which is really good, I think, because what do we do with Primordial Wave? We've spread our flame shocks to multiple targets, and then we cast Primordial Wave, Lightning Bolt, all those lightning, like Primordial Wave is going to shoot out a lightning bolt, dealing a crap ton of damage to every target affected by flame shock, and then you just have a free lightning feral spirit buffing those lightning bolts by 20%. You can also get 2 additional wolves or 2 additional lightning wolves from the regular cast of your feral spirits, right? So if you actually roll 2 lightning wolves, now I have 3 lightning wolves up. You can see those buffs there, and then I lightning bolt. It hit 6 targets for 1.6 million damage. That's quite a lot. RNG just worked in my favor there quite nicely. 1 of them crit, 5 of them didn't. Of course, I also wasn't running like my full like potion, my puzzle box, right? I didn't have bloodlust up. I didn't have all my buffs, but still, that is quite a lot of damage. The idea is that this is a positive feedback loop for the enhancement shaman, which is fantastic. I love the tier set because your Primordial Wave gives you 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks already, which reduces the cooldown if you're running the proper talents of your feral spirit. So if you're running Witch Doctor's Wolf Ancestry, increases the chance to generate Maelstrom. Whenever you gain a stack of Maelstrom weapon, the cooldown of feral spirits is reduced by 2 seconds. So your Primordial Wave is already generating 10 stacks of Maelstrom weapon, which is reducing the cooldown of feral spirits via Witch Doctor's Ancestry. And then the idea is that whenever you cast or summon a feral spirit, you're reducing the cooldown of Primordial Wave by 7 seconds per feral spirit. It currently does not work on the PTR. The cooldown reduction for Primordial Wave does not work on the PTR, so we can't test it properly. So anytime that I would cast Primordial Wave, the Maelstrom generation works with the feral spirits, but there is no cooldown reduction at all for the Primordial Wave from summoning feral spirits. You'll see I'll summon them here again, and it did not do anything to Primordial Wave. So that's currently bugged. My intuition for this tier set is that it's probably one of the strongest ones out of all of them, just because of its positive feedback loop. You're going to have an insane amount of uptime on feral spirits. You're going to have an insane amount of casts with Primordial Surge or Primordial Wave, excuse me. And in AoE encounters, with how often you're generating Maelstrom just from your tax cleaving, right? You're using Fire Nova if you're talented into it, which is generating like 6 Maelstrom per cast on its own. Your Wolves uptime it's just a huge amount of damage and consistent damage. And Enhancement Shaman with this tier set, if it goes unchanged, is looking like it's just not going to be a cooldown class at all. It's just always going to have its cooldowns. In heavy AoE and cleave situations, it's just always going to have damage. And that consistent damage combined with its very strong funnel is probably going to make it one of the strongest melees if this goes unchanged. Not only have Elemental Shaman and Enhancement Shaman received no damage changes aside from Primordial Wave, it got buffed. The initial damage of Primordial Wave, I think, was buffed by 400% for Enhancement Shamans. I don't know why they didn't buff it for Ellie, but that's okay. Those are the only changes. And both DPS specs are actually in such a good spot right now. No changes is a good change for elemental and enhancement. So if you guys are worried about that, don't. Both of the specs are in a fantastic spot right now going into the next patch. And I'm just super excited to be able to test these things, provide more content for you guys, and kind of give my thoughts and opinions on what is to come for the class. As long as nothing changes, we're looking very, very strong coming into season 3. So I hope you like the video. Like it if you like it. Comment down below what your thoughts are on any of the tier sets, and give me your opinions on things, guys. If you want to subscribe to my content, please hit that subscription bell or subscription button and the noti bell so that you get notified when I have a new release of videos. If you want to support my content, head over to my Twitch page or my Patreon page. Drop a follow on there or subscribe to that to support all the videos that I release here. It really helps keep the lights on. All these beautiful lights in the background. Yes. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, keep calm and Maelstrom on. Bye-bye.